Very good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss an very important memory management technique, that is paging or paged memory management technique. So in the previous class we discussed two memory management technique, that is single contiguous memory management technique, then partitioned memory management technique. So in single contiguous memory management technique, the user memory area is going to be allocated for single user or single user program at a time. Okay, so there is no system and there is no resource utilization and there is no multi-programming. To overcome this deficiency, disadvantage, next partitioned memory management technique was evolved. Here the entire user memory area is divided into many partitions and each partition is assigned to one user program. So according to the number of partitions, that much number of programs may be loaded and executed. So multi-programming achieved. Then system utilization is also increased, that is resource utilization is also increased. Even though in partitioned memory management technique, the size of the partition may be a static one or dynamic one. So in static, the partition size is determined by the OS. Okay, so based on this partitioning technique is called a MFT, that is multi-programming with a fixed number of tasks. Next, converse to this, dynamic partitioning technique was introduced, that is according to the size of the program, a partition going to be created. Okay, so the partition is going to create according to the size of the program. Okay, so here fragmentation is the problem. So to overcome this fragmentation, next compaction technique was introduced. Okay, these are all the things discussed in the previous class. So in paging technique, okay, before going to get into the details deeply, we must know some background details. Actually, in single contiguous memory management and partitioned memory management, the entire program going to be loaded from hard disk into random access memory. But in random access memory, only one instruction of the program going to be executed, not the entire program. Very clear? Okay, in the previous two technique, the entire program is going to be loaded from the hard disk to random access memory. But in random access memory, only a limited portion is going to be used by the CPU. Okay, so instead of loading, okay, this is a very important concept. Instead of loading the entire program, a demanding portion may be loaded. The demanding portion, which instruction is required, that instruction alone can be loaded from hard disk to random access memory. So in this situation, consumption of random access memory is reduced at most. Very clear? In paging technique, instead of loading the entire program, a small portion, which portion is required for execution, that only going to be loaded. Okay, So with this knowledge, come to understand paging. Okay. Now the program going to be executed next available in hard disk. Okay. The size of the program is 65 bytes. For your understanding, the size of the program is 65 bytes. So that instead of loading the entire program, entire 65 bytes of program from hard disk to RAM, in paging technique, the entire 65 bytes program is divided into many pages. So here operating system must decide the size of the page. For your understanding, the size of the page is 10 bytes. The size of the page is 10 byte. Okay. So if the size of the page is 10 bytes, means the entire 65 byte program is divided into 7 pages, isn't it? 0 to 9 bytes first page, 10 to 19 second page, 20 to 29 third page, 30 to 39 fourth page, 40 to 49 fifth page, 50 to 59 sixth page, and 60 to 64 that is the seventh page. But the seventh page the entire 10 bytes allocated, isn't it? So totally for a 65 bytes program 70 bytes allocated. Okay, so totally 7 bytes. Now come to understand logical address. There are 3 logical address generated by CPU. For your understanding, 62, 37 and 12. Very clear? 62, 37 and 12. Okay, the first instruction to be executed is 12. Okay, 12 means 12th byte in the entire program. In the 12th byte there is one instruction. This byte going to be executed first. Okay, so that the address 12 is going to be divided into 2 components, that is page number and page offset. Very clear? Page number and page offset. So for the logical address 12, it refers page number 1, isn't it? Because page number 1 contains 10 to 19. Okay, so within this range 12 available. So the logical address 12 is divided into 2, page number 1 and page offset 3. Okay, page offset 3, 10, 11. Okay, actually 2. Okay, how it is performed? The logical address 12 going to be divided by 10 because the page size is 10. So 12 by 10 gives 1. So this refers the page number. Next, 12 mod 10. 12 mod 10, this gives 2. So this is page reference. Okay, so CPU generated one logical address, that is 12. So it must be converted into 2 components, that is page number and page offset. So how page number and page offset is derived? Using the page size. So CP address divided by page size gives page number. Logical address divided by page size, logical address mod by page size gives page offset. So likewise you can find the page number and the page offset of 37 and 62. Okay, so for 37 the page number is 3 and the page offset is 7. Likewise in 62 the page number is 6 and the page offset is 2. So with this knowledge, come to understand another concept, frame. Okay, frame. Frame means a portion in random access memory, that is memory. So the entire user memory is divided into many partitions and the size of the partition is only 10 bytes because OS decided that the size of the page is 10 bytes. So the page size and the partition in memory should be same. A partition in memory is called a frame. A partition in program in hard disk is called a page. Okay, so the entire user memory is divided into many partition and the size of each partition is 10 bytes. So for your understanding, there are 500 bytes of user memory area. There are 500 bytes of user memory area. So that how many partitions can be made? Yes, so 500 divided by 10 because the size of the partition is 10. So 500 divided by 10 gives 50. So the entire user memory area can be divided into 50 partition and each partition of size 10 bytes. Okay, now in random access memory, now the frame is ready. A frame is a partition in random access memory. That side in hard disk program is ready in pages. Okay, so the size of the program is 65 bytes, but now it is referred as a 7 page program. For loading a 7 page program, it required 7 frames in random access memory. Okay, very clear? Now we are going to execute our user program and its size is 65 bytes. So the 65 byte referred as 7 pages. For loading 7 pages of user program, it requires 7 frames in random access memory. But here there is one beauty. What? The 7 pages, 7 frames in random access memory not going to be allocated in contiguous. That is, in non-contiguous fashion, it going to be assigned. So for your understanding, there are 50 frames. There are 50 frames. So initially all 50 frames are free. All 50 frames are free. So now the 7 page program going to be loaded into random access memory. So 7 pages referred for your understanding. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Very clear? There are 7 frames and its frame number is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and 35. Okay, these 7 frames are, in these 7 frames, 7 pages of program going to be loaded and executed. Okay, are you clear? So the first page, for your understanding, the first page is loaded in frame number 5. The last frame, 7th frame, is loaded in 35. Okay, so that a page map table is created. Actually, this is a 7-page table. So, a 7-page program. For a 7-page program, an index table, that is page map table, is created. In a page map table, there are 7 entries. What are they? The page numbers. Page number 1, page number 2, up to page number 7. The page number 1 is loaded in frame number 5. The second page loaded in frame number 10. The third page loaded in frame number 15. And the last page 7 is loaded in the frame number 35. Okay, so a page table is created. The page table is also available in random access memory in some one location. Very clear? The page map table is also available in some one location of the same random access memory. Now come to understand. So at the time of execution, CPU generated one logical address, that is 12. I told already. So the logical address 12 is divided into 2, page number 1 and page offset 2. So with this knowledge, OS going to refer the page map table of this program. So the page map table is available in one memory location. Address of that location is stored in page map table base register. Actually, this is a lengthy topic. You have to watch very carefully. Okay. So, page map table base register contains the address of the page map table. So, with this idea, we get into the page map table, and the page number is 1. So the page number 1 is loaded in frame number 10. Very clear? 0th page stored in frame number 5. So the page number 1 is stored in frame number 10. Okay, so the page number 1 is available in frame number 10. So the address of the starting address of the frame 10 must be calculated. So there is one calculation, 10 minus 1, because logical address start from 0. Okay, so 10th frame starts from 90 to 99 in random access memory, isn't it? So for logical address 12, it refers page number 1. So page number 1, its equivalent frame number is 10. So 10 minus 1, 9 into 10, because the size of the frame is 10, so 90. So 90 is the starting address of the 10th frame. Then then this 90 will be added with a page offset, that is 92. So 92 is the starting address of the instruction to be executed next. Are you clear? Next, come to understand. So the instruction available in 12 is executed, then 37. So 37 means page number 7 and offset page number 3 and offset 7, so that again page map table going to be referred. So for page number 3 the offset frame number is 20, I think 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so that 20 minus 1, 19. So 19 into 10, 190. So this is the starting of the 20th frame. So this value going to be added with the page offset, that is 7. So 197 is the starting address of the instruction to be executed